Probiotic ginger ale. It's the trendy fermented drink that promises to combine the digestive benefits of ginger with gut-healing probiotics. But what does the actual science say about this fizzy health drink? Today I'm diving deep into the research to uncover what really happens when you drink probiotic ginger ale daily, and some of these findings might surprise you. Make sure you watch until the end, because I'll show you exactly how to make your own high-quality version at home that's more potent and cost-effective than anything you can buy in stores. Let's start with the probiotic component, because this is where the marketing claims get really bold. True probiotic ginger ale should contain live, beneficial bacteria cultures that can survive the acidic journey through your stomach and colonize your gut. Research published in the Journal of Applied Microbiology shows that effective probiotic drinks need at least 1 billion CFUs per serving of specific strains like Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium to provide measurable health benefits. However, here's where it gets complicated. Many commercial probiotic ginger ales don't actually contain live cultures. Studies in food microbiology reveal that the pasteurization process used in most commercial beverages kills the beneficial bacteria, leaving you with regular ginger ale plus some inactive bacterial remnants. The fizzy fermentation you see in truly probiotic ginger ale comes from live cultures producing carbon dioxide, not artificial carbonation. The ginger component brings its own impressive research profile that's worth understanding. Studies in phytomedicine demonstrate that ginger contains powerful bioactive compounds called gingerols and shogals, which have potent anti-inflammatory and digestive properties. Research shows that ginger can reduce nausea, improve gastric motility, and help with various digestive discomforts, benefits that make it an ideal base for a probiotic drink. The anti-inflammatory effects of ginger are particularly relevant for gut health. Research in the International Journal of Preventive Medicine shows that chronic inflammation in the digestive tract can disrupt the gut microbiome balance. Ginger's anti-inflammatory compounds may help create a more favorable environment for beneficial bacteria to thrive, potentially enhancing the probiotic effects when combined properly. But here's where the science reveals some important considerations about sugar content and gut health. Many commercial probiotic ginger ales contain significant amounts of added sugars to improve taste and support fermentation. Research in gut microbes shows that excessive sugar intake can actually feed harmful bacteria in your gut, potentially counteracting the benefits of the probiotics you're trying to consume. The fermentation process in authentic probiotic ginger ale should naturally reduce sugar content as the beneficial bacteria consume sugars to produce lactic acid and other beneficial compounds. Studies in applied and environmental microbiology demonstrate that properly fermented beverages have lower sugar content than their starting ingredients, making them more gut-friendly than artificially sweetened alternatives. The specific brand. Check out brands that keep their probiotics alive through fermentation. If it needs refrigeration, that's a great sign it's packed with live, active bacteria. On the avoid list, most mainstream brands like Canada Dry, Schweppes, or Seagram's that market probiotic versions typically contain pasteurized ingredients with no live cultures. These products often contain high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, and preservatives that can actually harm gut health rather than support it. The timing and dosage considerations for probiotic ginger ale show some interesting research findings. Studies in clinical nutrition suggest that consuming probiotic beverages on an empty stomach may allow more beneficial bacteria to survive the stomach acid and reach the intestines. However, ginger's potential to stimulate stomach acid production means some people may tolerate it better with food. The individual variation in probiotic response is significant and often overlooked in marketing claims. Research in Nature reviews. Gastroenterology shows that gut microbiome composition varies dramatically between individuals, meaning the same probiotic strain may have different effects for different people. Some people may experience noticeable digestive improvements within days, while others may need weeks of consistent consumption to see benefits. The practical incorporation methods for families interested in probiotic ginger ale show that making your own provides the highest quality and most cost-effective option. Creating homemade probiotic ginger ale starts with making what's called a ginger bug, a naturally fermented starter culture that's like the sourdough starter of the fermented beverage world. A ginger bug is a living culture of wild yeasts and beneficial bacteria that naturally occur on fresh ginger root. When you create the right environment with ginger, sugar, and water, these microorganisms multiply and create a fizzy, living culture that can ferment your beverages. The process harnesses the same natural fermentation that humans have used for thousands of years to preserve foods and create beneficial bacteria. To create your ginger bug, you'll need organic fresh ginger with the skin on. This is crucial because the wild yeasts live on the ginger skin. You'll also need white sugar, which works best initially because it's easily consumed by the microorganisms, and filtered water since chlorine kills the beneficial bacteria we're trying to cultivate. Start with a clean glass mason jar and add 2 to 3 inches of grated or finely chopped fresh ginger, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 cups of filtered water. Stir well and cover with a breathable cloth or coffee filter secured with a rubber band. Never seal it airtight, because the culture needs to breathe and release gases during fermentation. For the next 5 to 7 days, you'll feed your ginger bug daily by adding 1 tablespoon of grated ginger and 1 tablespoon of sugar, stirring well each time. This daily feeding provides fresh nutrients for the microorganisms to multiply and establish a stable culture. Keep it at room temperature during this establishment phase. You'll know your ginger bug is ready when you see active bubbling, smell a pleasant yeasty and gingery aroma, and taste a slightly sour, fizzy liquid. This usually takes 5 to 7 days, though it can vary based on temperature and the natural yeast population on your ginger. The bubbling indicates that the yeasts are producing carbon dioxide, while the slight sourness shows that beneficial bacteria are producing lactic acid. Once your ginger bug is active, you can use it to ferment ginger ale. Strain out 1/4 cup of the liquid. This is your starter. Mix it with 1 quart of filtered water, 1/4 cup of sugar, fresh ginger juice to taste, and optional lemon juice for additional flavor and vitamin C. Let this mixture ferment at room temperature for 2 to 4 days until it becomes fizzy. Then refrigerate to slow fermentation. The beauty of a ginger bug is that it's a living culture that can produce endless batches of probiotic ginger ale. After using some of the liquid, continue feeding your bug weekly with ginger and sugar if stored in the refrigerator. With proper care, a single ginger bug can last for months or even years, making it incredibly cost-effective compared to buying commercial probiotic beverages. For busy families, start your ginger bug on a weekend when you can remember the daily feedings during the establishment phase. Once it's active and refrigerated, it becomes much more forgiving and low maintenance. You can even share portions of your ginger bug with friends and family, spreading the probiotic wealth. The homemade approach gives you complete control over sugar content, fermentation time, and flavor intensity. You can adjust the ginger strength for family preferences, control the final sugar content by extending fermentation time, and avoid the artificial ingredients and preservatives found in many commercial products. Storage considerations for your ginger bug include using only filtered water for feeding, keeping it in the refrigerator between uses, and refreshing it monthly by straining out some of the accumulated ginger pieces and adding fresh water if needed. Never use metal utensils with your ginger bug, as metal can interfere with the fermentation process. Stick to wooden or plastic spoons. For families new to fermentation, start with small batches and taste test frequently to understand how fermentation time affects flavor and carbonation levels. The longer you ferment, the more sour and less sweet your ginger ale becomes, as the bacteria consume more of the sugars. Safety considerations include maintaining proper pH levels. Your ginger bug should smell pleasant and yeasty, never foul or putrid. If you see any fuzzy mold growth or detect off odors, discard the batch and start fresh. Proper fermentation creates an acidic environment that prevents harmful bacteria growth. The cost comparison shows that homemade probiotic ginger ale typically costs less than $1 per quart to make, compared to $4 to $8 for commercial probiotic beverages. For families consuming fermented drinks regularly, this represents significant savings while providing higher probiotic content and fresher flavors. For families on a budget, the most cost-effective approach is making your own using a ginger bug starter. This provides the highest probiotic content at the lowest cost, with complete control over sugar content and fermentation time. A single ginger bug can produce multiple batches of probiotic ginger ale for months with proper care. When shopping for commercial options, look for these key indicators of quality probiotic ginger ale: refrigerated storage, live and active cultures on the label, organic ingredients when possible, sugar content under 10 grams per serving, and a short ingredient list without artificial preservatives or flavors. Based on the comprehensive research, here's what science tells us about probiotic ginger ale and daily consumption. When made properly with live cultures, it can provide meaningful gut health benefits through the combination of beneficial bacteria and ginger's anti-inflammatory properties. However, the quality varies dramatically between products, with many commercial versions lacking the live cultures necessary for probiotic benefits. For families seeking gut health support, authentic probiotic ginger ale can be a valuable addition to a healthy diet, but it's not a magic solution. The benefits come from consistent consumption of properly fermented beverages with adequate bacterial counts, combined with an overall gut-healthy lifestyle, including fiber-rich foods and stress management. The key is choosing high-quality versions with live cultures or learning to make your own, starting with small amounts, and paying attention to how your family responds. Some people may find significant digestive improvements, while others may need to experiment with different strains or timing to find what works best. If you're looking for more science-backed wellness guidance that actually fits into busy family life, grab my free Revive and Thrive, Empowering Overwhelmed Parents with Holistic Mindful Moments guide. It includes gentle wellness practices that support your family's health naturally, including gut health strategies that work with real life. The link is in the description below. This information is for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before adding fermented beverages to your diet, especially if you have digestive conditions or are taking medications that could interact with probiotics.